Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. We got a treat today. Deck number 765, Inferno of the Star Mounts. Now, this is a dragon. So for 6 mana, we get a 6/6 flying haste. Sweet, right? Can't be countered. And the best variant of fire breathing I've ever seen. Red mana Krillin gets +1 till end of turn. When its power becomes 20 this way, it deals 20 damage to any target. Now, if this doesn't say commander damage win on it, I had a lot of fun here. The important part to remember here is when its power becomes 20 in this way, getting from 6 to 19, you can do whatever. You've just got to activate it once to get it to 20 to get that 20 damage shot off. So, things like Black Blade Reforged, +1 for each land you control. You got to be careful here because if you get too many lands and it becomes 20, then, Bloodlust, given the +4. Loxodon Warhammer, Trample, and +3. And the lifelink doesn't hurt either. Claws of Valakut here again for each mountain. I put Crucible of Fire in because I have a few other creatures and they just happen to be dragons. So I figured why not? And it's permanent +3. Bloodmark Mentor giving first strike. The Haunted Cloak also mainly for the trample. We already have haste, but Vigilance is pretty sweet too. Check this out. Kenneth, Emberclaw Familiar. Whenever a commander you control deals combat damage to opponent, it deals that much damage to each other opponent. Sick, right? I put Arnie in because it's funny. You may change Arnie's base power to 1+, the greatest power among other creatures you control. That's funny. Goblin War Drums. If they do have large flyers they're willing to sacrifice, they've got a 2-for-1 block, right? Trailblazer's Boots, non-basic land walk. That almost sounds unblockable, right? So let's look at our ramp. I say ramp, it's red mana production, because that's what we want to produce, a ton of specifically red mana. So we have discounting of course, the Soul Ring. But there's a bunch here. Expedition Map, Wayfarer's Bauble, Sisters of the Flame. Yeah, this one doesn't see a lot, right? The Corrupted Graphstone. But I want to talk about Soulbright Flamekin. Yeah, 6 gets you 8. 6 colorless gets you 8 specific red to activate that commander. And, you've given 3 things trample, or the same thing trample 3 times, whatever. Either way, you're mana positive, and you're turning colorless or generic mana into specifically 8 red. Battle Hymn, Orb of Dragonkind, that's 1 gets you 2. Or to activate abilities of Dragon, of course, Fire Diamond, Ornithopter of Paradise, Environmental Sciences to get us that mountain in our hand. Yes, I even used Manalith because I wanted rocks that produce specifically red mana. Letter of Acceptance, Mana Flare, because, sure, why not? Double Trouble. Burgi. Whenever you cast a spell, add a red mana. Until end of turn, you don't lose. Yeah. And creatures you control can boast twice. So I don't know that we'll need to boast Arnie twice, but, hey. Cast a spell, add a red mana. That seems like something I want to be a part of. Darksteel Ingot, Commander Sphere, Foricium Totem, Cursed Mirror, Spectral Searchlight, Burnished Heart, go get some, lands. Hedron Archive, I know it's not colored, but the Colony Gem. Even so far as the red mana battery. Because, you know, if you get it out before your commander, or, you know, they're probably, you know, going to kill your commander at some point. So we can just mound up mana, and if we get there, we get there, right? Might not be bad with some proliferation. I don't have it in here, but, you know, Dreamstone Hydrant, Meteorite. Yeah, I went deep into the mana rocks, I know. But then we have the spell stuff, you know, the Pyretic Ritual, Seething Song, the grandfather of them all, Mana Geyser. You can get there from 6 to 20 just on Mana Geyser. 14 mana is, I would say, probably about average from when you cast the spell. It is insane. And if it's any more than that, oh wow. Like last Friday, we had a 7-player game. And whew, can you imagine? And then Alina, Kessig Trapper, added amount of red mana to the greatest power among creatures you control that enter the battlefield this turn. Yeah, that's probably going to be, what, 6 for our commander, or what have you. I put in a Furnace of Wrath. This Furnace of Wrath has seen better days. It has doubled a whole lot of damage. Now, Fiery Emancipation is the perfect card here, but I don't have any more. I don't even know if I have any. But Dragon Speaker Shaman's just in there to help us cast our commander. Thrill of Possibility, Tormenting Voice, Wild Guess, variants on the same theme. Sandstone Oracle, because we're probably going to play out some, you know, cards and draw some. Wild Ricochet, I really like this. New targets for instant or sorcery spell. Then copy. So I like to, in mono red, I like to ricochet that card draw spell. Just saying. Our 4 other dragons. We have Forge Stoker. Deals 1 damage, target creature can't block this combat. That is, honestly, the deciding factor on why I put it in there is that if they do have some blockers and we don't have the trample or the unblockable yet, we can ting 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 and they don't block. Rakdos Pit Dragon, just because it does have all the red mana colon stuff, you know, and double strike as long as you're hellbent. So that's sweet. Flame Blast Dragon. Boom, you know. Leyline Tyrant. You may pay any amount of red mana when you do it. Deals that much damage to any target, so that's kind of on the same theme. Removal-wise, we have variants on the Pyroclasm theme, right? We have Pyroclasm and Sweltering Suns, Volcanic Fallout, Flame Sweep, but then just good old-fashions to Abrade. It's a great card. Magma Quake, I love the fact that that's an instant. Fireball, because, I mean, I still can't believe it wasn't in the D&D set. But we're generating a ton of red mana, so Blasphemous Act. Seems pretty good. And Magnetic Mountain. I know this is weird, but in mono red, you know, blue creatures do not untap. They got to pay 4 mana to untap a blue creature. That's a bunch. So, only have 4 non-basic lands. We're going to start with Nykthos, because, you know, it's just a insane mana engine by itself. Cycling Land, Desert of the Fervent, Temple of False God, and then lastly, of course, that Rogue's Passage, because this is all about commander damage right here. And if you get it, if it hits, I'm excited to play this one. I haven't played it yet. If it hits right, then you only have to, like, commander damage one or 2 people. So the rest is just additional damage, you know. Of course, the dream scenario is getting the double damage, and you're hitting somebody for 40 combat and somebody for 40. I don't know. Anyway, 765 is done. and on the wall. So I do appreciate y'all watching, liking, commenting. A lot of ways that deck could get better. Sort of X's and Y's are pretty good. I thought about the Colossus Hammer or bigger equipment, stuff like that. But that is where we're at. I appreciate it, and we're going to go ahead and shuffle and cut.